25 feet in a oak tree, I believe, front yard. Here's my friction hitch, false crotch as they call it, 1/2-inch glue line. You can see the glue on the inside. Using a hitch climber's pulley right there. I've got an anchor nut, anchor hitch, which is where right there with a figure 8 tie off. Using a XT Prusik, at least I think it is. So I got 3 knots, but it seems to hold pretty good. Trying out the XT versus the VT yesterday. Got some fisherman's double fisherman knots holding my V-line. So that's what's holding me up, is that rope right there. It's 8mm. And it's tied off there on that carabiner. It's an oval carabiner and tied into this 3 placement device. 2 holes not used. Sitting on a rope bridge with a backup rope bridge right here. This is the Weaver saddle. Ring there is not in use. Tied in with an Ashley stopper knot on both sides. I got my lanyard right there holding my gloves on my lap. My foot is the foot ascender that I use to get up here. And got a couple knots tied below. As you can see, tarp laid down to keep the rope somewhat out of the snow. And essentially really close to the anchor hitch at this point. If I wanted to go higher, I'd have to re-rig or retoss my line, whatever. A lot of snow on the branches. It's hard to do a limb walk. Something I've been trying to learn to do here. So there we have it. A little breeze up here. Gloves I'm using have a good rubber coating. Makes a big difference to be able to grab the rope. Try doing it with bare hands in the cold. It's not too friendly. Good evening. Today we are going to try out a new device for doing the RAD system. Basically what we're looking at here is a single rope technique. I have a tachyon rope tied to a tree with a timber hitch, a couple half hitches to hold it, and then to secure it on the end I have a bowline with a backup knot on a whoopee sling. So this tachyon goes up the tree and then it goes around a friction saver up around 40 feet, isolated on a single branch, coming down, hand ascender on the rope, little lock to keep it from coming off, and it is locked in place. I have a pulley on a carabiner screw down lock and a safety strap with an aluminum carabiner. Now the aluminum strap is used to tie into a second tie-in point, so when I go up a scent device slip, theoretically this would be the backup. Coming down I can't use it because I have to turn off the sender from grabbing the rope. Now what we're dealing with here is the Rock Exotica MPD, which stands for what? Basically a multi-something. I heard it the other day. It's kind of a cool device. I used this yesterday to test it, and it was a pretty easy climb because it's got a one-way pulley, a 3-inch sieve in it. When you want to come down, you just pull this off and turn it. You got to turn off the lock. It's locked right now, as you can see. This is the 11mm device, and the cool thing about this is you can wrap the rope when you're ready to descend around that T-handle there. Definitely keeps you in place just like a figure 8. So when I first used it I made sure it was around there, but if you want to come down fast on this, definitely can, or you can come down slow. But there's really no loss due to like a Prusik knot where you pull up and you lose a couple inches every time you pull up. This is quite a sweet device for tree climbing. A little heavy you would think. I don't even notice it. So we're going to go ahead and hook up on this and see what we can do. As you can see, the diagram shows you how to use it. As you can see, my down rope is right there, so that looks like it matches. And then the load, this is up the tree, goes up. We're good to go here. I got a steel 80 KN or 72 KN steel carabiner tied into this. So we may put it on my Weaver saddle here. I've got a swivel and also a rigging plate. I usually test with the rigging plate and then hook into the saddle or into the swivel afterwards. But whichever one I'm tied into, I'll tie the safety strap carabiner into that. And I've got a backup bridge just in case, but this is the new Weaver bridge that's been coming out lately, which I had my saddle modified for it. So, and I also have this backup pulley system for tying in on the tree as a second tie-in point. So we'll go ahead and get started here using the MPD. Okay, so we now have our saddle on. So we'll do our back check, which stands for belt, buckles, anchor, carabiners, and knots. So we'll first check our saddle. Make sure we're good here. Make sure the aluminum rings are good, the straps are good. If not, back up bridge. Okay, looks like our buckle's good. So now we're going to hook up, screw it down, put a little weight on here, check our anchor, part of the back check. So I'm really leaning into this. So I'm doing the back check right now. I'm checking the anchor, checking my friction saver up in the tree, make sure it can hold me as I put pressure on. I'm going to check my carabiners, make sure they're locked. Got to hook up the safety. Turn off the lock on the MPD. Make sure this actually takes some, you can hear the clicking sound on this. Once you put some weight on that thing, it sets in place really nice. Making sure that holds. You can hear the click. You pull up, hear that? And that sieve in there, that's really nice. 3-inch. Makes this a really easy climb. And I've got my foot ascender, petzl, so we'll use that. So what I need to do is take this off. So I gotta back that away. Take this off. Put the rope through here. And I want the rope to come to the right. So it goes on the right side of the MPD when I hook it in. Come off to the right. So that way it comes down the right side, doesn't get in the way of the handle there. Because the first time I went up, it was getting in the way. Push up the ascender and then pull down. And as you can see, it locks in place with the lock turned off. It's in the unlocked position. Okay, so we have our gloves on. Push up our hand ascender. Pulls up the pulley. Notice that the limitation is the safety harness, or the safety webbing. The pulley, the rope comes off to the right side to avoid hitting the handle. We've checked done the back check. It stands for belt, anchor, carabiners, and knots. So let's check our knots. We got it going here. And that's about it for knots, really, other than on the tree. Checked those earlier. Now, one thing to keep in mind using single rope, that friction saver is going to have double the weight of the climber on it. So that's something to consider. So we got here, I'm about 10 feet, about 8 feet up in the air right now. So I got my foot ascender. So I just push straight down and it lifts me up. You can hear the click of the MPD. It's kind of hard to hold the camera and climb a tree at the same time. You push up the foot ascender, or the hand ascender rather. Use the foot ascender to push down and climb, and you just use 2 hands to push up on the hand ascender. So that's how it works. Okay, I removed the rope from the foot ascender, and now I've also taken it off the pulley. The pulley is free, so now the rope is just dangling. So what I'm going to do is wrap it around this device, and then use this handle, pull out, and make sure I got my hand on the down rope. And it's in the unlocked position. So, very smooth to do this. Very, very smooth. Okay, well, I slid back down. What I do is I pulled this out. Pull it out, and then you turn it forward. And then it lets it slide through, as you can see. Now, you gotta, if any time you let go, then it locks you into position. So I just go ahead and just control the down rope in order to control your speed of descent. And if coming down too fast, you can let go of that, or you can wrap it around that little handle right there. Very sweet and fast climb.